Well, this is kind of important. Have you ever thought about that? Anyway, today I want to speak to you about business credit for new business, the top 10 hacks you must implement to get low APRs and large loan amounts. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you're to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka, and let's roll. In today's exchange, I want to talk to you about business credit for new business, the top 10 hacks you must implement today to get low APRs and large loan amounts. One thing I need to say right off the bat, when you have a new business, you have three fundamental problems: how to find business financing, how to build business credit, and how to simultaneously reach the first two goals while also growing revenue and profits. Not impossible though, but you need a plan. So in today's conversation, I am spilling the beans. First, you want to start with your current institution. So where do you currently bank? Think about your current bank, your current credit union. You want to have an MPR with that institution. It's very important. If you want to get a large loan amount now or in the future, you better start parking some of your cash with the institution where you currently bank, okay? This is called a multi-product relationship, MPR. This is a concept that we use internally in our research, and we have been doing so for 20 years. If you search online, you will not find this concept. Some people on YouTube have said that you have to you need to have liability accounts. No, when we talk about MPR, we are speaking strictly about asset accounts, deposit accounts, so checking accounts, savings accounts, MMAs, money market accounts, CDs, certificate of deposits. Okay, you need to have a relationship manager. So when you start increasing the size of your relationship, the extent of your relationship with your bank or your credit union, you want to speak to someone. You want to have somebody who's going to look at your account, and this person will be able to explain to you the bank's or credit union's policies when it comes to credit. Okay, you need to call this person on a first name basis. I don't want you to say something like, Mr. James, Mr. No, Sean or Letitia. Like, you really want to you want to call the person on a first name basis. You want to establish that relationship. That rapport is very important. You also need to understand the bank's or credit union's policy for business credit reporting. It's important because you're trying to build credit at the same time. You want your data to be reported to Dun & Bradstreet, to Experian, to Equifax, to LexisNexis, to the SBFE. So you need to understand the bank's policy when it comes to business credit reporting. You want to ask about business credit products that are available, because not everything may be on the institution's website. It's very important to ask questions so you can collect intel. Okay, don't tell me, well, I went to the website and I looked into their products and their lending products, and I didn't find what I was looking for. Did you ask? Did you go to the branch? Go to the branch and sit down and have a conversation with a live person. And you need to ask how to boost your approval chances, because at the end of the day, it's all about getting the credit that you need, right? You want to get the credit that you need. You want to build business credit at the same time. So you want to ask about the conditions for eligibility, as well as your chances, as well as how you can boost your chances of approval. Number two, you want to obtain your EIN, and you need to get legit. I don't care what kind of business you have, okay? Honestly, you need to have your employer identification number. Don't tell me I want to remain a sole proprietorship. You can remain a sole proprietorship if you want to, but please get your EIN. Go to the IRS's website. It takes 5-10 minutes, maximum 15 minutes, and you just get your EIN, and that's it. An EIN is basically just a very great way for the IRS and other tax authorities to sort of track your business, make sure that you're paying your fair share of taxes, and also an EIN also helps you in business transactions. For example, opening a bank account, you are looked at as your business is seen as more serious by lenders, by vendors, all that kind of stuff. Okay, think about your legal structure. Legal structure means you need to choose the right type of business that you have, and this happens at the state level. Okay, you can be an LLC, a limited liability company, a limited liability partnership, an LP. You can be a C Corp, an S Corp. Obviously, there are tax implications of this. For example, if you are an LLC, you can file a 1065. And if you are a C Corp, you can file an 1120C, and if you're an S Corp, 1120S. But this is what it is. And trying to open a business checking account, at least you want to open a business checking account and or a business savings account. But at the minimum, you want to open a business checking account with your EIN and trying to establish a business address, phone, email, website, all that kind of stuff. Now, when you start, you can work from home, not a problem. You can use your home address as a business address, even though we strongly recommend using another address. You can actually buy a virtual business address so that you're completely divorcing your personal affairs from your business affairs. It's important because you need to preserve your assets. Okay, so you can buy a virtual business assets, and we've done a show about that. Just go into a catalog of videos, just type in virtual business address, and you'll see everything there. You want to think about your website. It's important nowadays. It takes about 1 hour, 2 hours to set up a website. Actually, you can do it for free if you use services like Wix, for example. Okay, and think about your accounting. You want to set up your accounting. It's important also. The whole thing here is you want to get your business legit. You want to make it legit, and you want to make it look legit. And if you need to hire people, you can hire staff. If you hire staff, you want to set up payroll. It's important, and all the fiscal implications in terms of paying taxes to state, city, and federal authorities. Okay, and you can actually outsource the accounting process. Please don't forget to declare whatever the number of employees that you hire. Okay, and you need to outsource the whole payroll / accounting process, or you can do it internally, or you can even have software such as QuickBooks, Xero, Wave to take care of that. Number 3, I want you to understand lender conditions. Okay, folks, we are still having a conversation about the top 10 hacks you must implement today to get low APRs and large loan amounts. Of course, we are speaking about business credit for new business. If you're a brand new business or a very young business, I want you to pay attention and take some notes. Okay, you need to understand the lender conditions. You need to ask yourself, does this lender report to Dun & Bradstreet or not? Okay, what about other business credit bureaus? We're speaking here about the SBFE, the Small Business Financial Exchange, Experian, Equifax, LexisNexis. What is their policy? Obviously, you have about 4 major business credit bureaus. You have Dun & Bradstreet being the primary one. You have Experian, Equifax, and LexisNexis. SBFE is not a credit bureau. They are an exchange. They are a database whereby several lenders and several vendors have associated to actually share data. Okay, and you also need to have an idea about how often is the reporting done, because you're not just asking the lender about getting a loan or a line of credit from them. You want to know that your transactional history will be reported to the business credit bureaus. Otherwise, why are you applying with an EIN in the first place? Okay, you might as well just apply it with your social, but we don't want that because we're trying to segregate our business affairs from our personal affairs, and we're trying to build simultaneously business credit and personal credit. And that's the best way of doing things. Okay, so you need to ask the lender, you need to ask the credit union, you need to ask the bank what their policies are in terms of business credit reporting. Okay, and you need to ask them about the frequency, how often is the reporting done, and what is reported specifically, because when we talk about business transactions being reported to credit bureaus, to business credit bureaus, there are several kinds of transactions, and you want to have a clear idea of the reporting process, the data being reported. And you also need to ask a very fundamental questions, and this question is quite essential, folks. How can my business help in the reporting process besides making on-time payments? In essence, what you're trying to do here, and this kind of question you want to ask the relationship manager that you would have established, that you would have assigned to your account when you started having an MPR with the bank, right? You are trying to be proactive here. Don't be reactive. In other words, you want to control the reporting process. So you're telling the banker, how can I help? How can my business help? Do you want me to provide data to you on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis? This is a win-win situation because you're helping the bank, you're helping and the good thing is this strategy can be used also for regular net 30 vendors or net 45 or net 15 vendors. You're trying to be proactive here. You are putting your resources, your company's resources, at their disposal. The fourth thing you need to do is to have a multi-trade line strategy. Okay, so you got to have net 30 vendors. You want to go after lenders. You need to go after traditional credit card issuers, online alternative lenders, fintech credit card issuers, the whole 9 years. So you need to have a plethora of trade lines you need to establish. So when it comes to net 30 vendors, we have covered this topic on another show, and on other shows rather, more than one show. So we have top 10 easiest to get net 30 vendors for quickly building business credit. How to get net 30 accounts for a new business fast, no fee, no personal guarantee. The report to Dun & Bradstreet. The top 10 net 30 accounts for new business. And the top 7 net 30 vendors that approve large business trade lines, no matter what, up to $250,000. So I'm not going to speak too much about this topic here because we have covered them already. The topic that is already extensively on other shows. So go check out those shows if you're interested. So you also need to think about lenders. Okay, so lenders meaning you have banks, credit unions, the MCAs, merchant cash advance providers. It's important. You want to think about traditional credit card issuers. Okay, this is important. The Chases of the world, the Wells Fargo's of the world, the Bank of America's of the world, the Amex's of the world. You want to think about online and alternative lenders. We're speaking here about Blue Cap. We're speaking about National Capital Services, Bluevine. We have Lendio, OnDeck, and so on and so forth. Think about fintech credit card issuers, such as Brex, Ramp, Divvy. So we have covered also those topics on other shows. So if you're interested, you can go watch Divvy. We have done a Divvy review. We have compared and contrasted Brex, Sam's Club, and Stripe. We have done another compare and contrast between Brex, Ramp, Stripe, and Amex. And we have also done a review of Brex by itself. Okay, so this is kind of cool. What I'm trying to say here is that if you have a diversity of trade lines, if you go after several trade lines, you are basically boosting your business credit, because you're going to have different trade lines on your credit report. Don't just stick with one category. Don't stick with only net 30 vendors and trying to go to Uline or go to Granger and trying to have accounts with them. You need credit cards. You need at least a one business credit card. Trying to get a loan, and again, it doesn't have to be $100,000 or $500,000. Trying to go for $25,000 or $20,000, something to get the ball rolling. That's what you need. You need to kick off the ball so that business credit is being reported in your account, and you are building business credit, as a result. Number 5, you want to write a business plan, folks. We are so serious. We are speaking about business credit for a new business and the top 10 hacks for building business credit fast. Now, I hear some people at least laughing whenever we say you need to write a business plan when talking about business credit. This is just so crazy because people do not understand. Those people, at least, don't understand how business credit works. They don't understand. They believe they just have to have a great FICO of 675 or whatever to qualify for business credit. It's deeper than that, my friend. It is deeper than that. It's very important to understand how it works. So one thing that a business plan does is that it shows seriousness on your part. So a lender is going to read your business plan and say, this person took some time and resources and efforts to write this compelling business plan. They must be serious. So we're going to take them seriously as well. So it's all about how you actually, quote unquote, sell yourself, how you market yourself. Do you want to market yourself as a cheap borrower, or you want to market yourself as a compelling, as a responsible, as an effective borrower? This is really important, okay? And basically, a business plan is great not just for the lender. This could be also a blueprint for investors and net 30 vendors. Think about it. You have a multiplicity of purposes you can use a business plan for. This is why it's important to really put the resources. And please, don't go for a stingy business plan. Don't be stingy here, okay? Don't spend $50, $50 or $75 and expect to get a compelling business plan. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can, if you want to have a decent business plan, you want to start planning for $150, $200, or $250 to get a decent one. And you don't have to break the bank. You can go online to Fiverr, to freelancer.com, to Upwork, to TopTal to get the business plan you need. Okay, there are people whose rent is not $1,000 a month, and those people, they don't need to charge you $1,000 to write a business plan. Okay, and make sure that you also, a business plan helps you also have a vision for the business, so you have a clear idea of where you're sending the business. Okay, financial statements are critical. You can see on the screen here the financial ratios, courtesy of edocba.com. The financial ratios are important, and you want to have the business plan written professionally. Okay, it's important. And if you want to learn more about this topic, we have actually covered this item on 2 different videos. The first one is Life Plan versus Biz Plan versus Enloop, software to write your business plan yourself. And the second one is Life Plan versus Business Plan Pro versus Plan Guru versus Go Small Biz versus Business Sorter. We're doing another compare and contrast of business plan software tools. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sortie Kiwi Show. We're still having a conversation about business credit for new business, the top 10 hacks you must implement if you want to get a low APR and large loan amounts. Hack number 6, you need to check your business credit score. Yep, I've said it. It's important. So you need to actually sign up for a business account with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian, and in some cases LexisNexis, to have a clear idea of your business credit score. And once you sign up with those agencies, they will give you. You can talk to them. You can have a conversation with a rep, and you can ask them how to boost your business credit score. You got to have a game plan. Don't tell me you're just sitting there praying that your score goes up. It doesn't work that way. All right, you need to have a game plan, and you need to implement that game plan. It's not just about going through the ideation process and say, I have a great idea, I love this. No, well, you have a great idea. That's pretty cool. Have you thought about implementing the idea? Okay, please, as you are trying to improve your business credit score, make sure that you are keeping on-time payments. Make all your payments on time. Think about the liquidity status of your business so that you can support all the obligations that you have. You can cover them. Seek longer repayment terms. This can help you. Talk to net 30 vendors. Go from net 15 to net 30, or from net 15 to net 45, or net 30 to net 45. Think about that. You want to prioritize business credit cards and lines of credits because those require low minimum payments. So they have a great effect on your liquidity situation in the short run. Really good. So as you are checking your business credit score, please also check simultaneously your personal credit score. You want to ensure that your FICO is clean. That's important. Okay. Clean means what? Clean means that you're looking for derogatory items. Okay, there's websites such as annualcreditreport.com. You have a Credit Karma. You have NerdWallet. You have Wallet Hub. We have covered those free score providers on other shows, so you can go and avail yourself of that show. And you want to check for incorrect data or fraudulent information. Perhaps you have been the victim of identity theft. You want to check that out, okay? And if there are any issues, you can dispute the problematic issues, the derogatory items. First, you have to contact the lender or the credit card issuer. That's called the data furnisher. And then you can contact afterwards the credit bureaus, okay? And after you file a dispute, please don't forget to follow up. You need to follow up on dispute resolution to find out whether or not the dispute, the resolution, or the investigation results went in your favor or against you. Hack number 8, folks. I want you to collateralize loans when possible. What does that mean? It means that if you're able to secure some of the loans with cash at the beginning or with some inventory, whatever it is, do it. Why? Because you are going to establish business credit fast. You are going to get low APRs because banks are covering their ass, right? So if you're telling them, listen, I'm just going to bring you the cash, I'm securing the loan, I'm collateralizing the loan, you're basically reducing the bank's exposure to you. And they will be willing to work with you. They will be willing to give you a better APR. And this is great for you also. It's a win-win. It's a win-win for them, and it's a win-win for you because you are building business credit at the same time. Okay. And you need to think about whether or not you should prioritize collateralized loans. I'm thinking about business car, equipment, or unsecured loans. What about invoice factoring, accounts receivable financing, or merchant cash advances? So those are actually great ways of establishing business credit, but please make sure that you speak to the lender first, because some lenders do not report transactional history to their business credit bureaus. Okay, so especially if you are in the MCA, the merchant cash advance industry, not all of them report your transactional history. So be very clear about that first, and make sure again, all trade lines, not just invoice factoring, MCAs, accounts receivable, all of them report to business credit bureaus, especially to Dun & Bradstreet. Okay, and you also yourself, and I started saying that before, but now I want to go a little deeper here. You need to be proactive with Dun & Bradstreet reporting. I want you to be really, really active, not passive. Okay, you want to report transactional data systematically yourself. You want to report, and there are channels. There are basically ways to do so through Dun & Bradstreet, through Experian, through Equifax. They have channels whereby you can basically report the data yourself, so that they can actually, because if you think about it, those institutions, they're making money by actually collecting data and sharing that data. So the more data they have, the better for them. That's why they welcome even data furnishers, even customers to provide that data, something that they never do when it comes to consumers. Okay, and you want to do the same thing with Experian and Equifax. You want to ask them the channels you need to follow to be able to report data systematically yourself. Okay, you may have to pay for it though. It's a service, but it's a great investment, because having strong business credit is going to open a lot of doors to your business. Trust me about that. Trust me on that. You can ask Dun & Bradstreet options that are available for small business and startup. Okay, you need to know, and get your DUNS number, by the way. Get your DUNS. Okay, so this is really important. And the 10th hack, folks, and this hack is quintessential. It's last but not the least. You need to be realistic and reasonable here. In other words, when asking for money, when trying to ask for a loan or a line of credit, or asking for a credit card limit, be always mindful of the limits, because the credit amount that you are seeking must be in harmony with the revenue you are generating. Let me repeat that. The credit amount that you're seeking must be in synergy. There must be some harmony between that and the business performance that you have. How much money are you generating? Don't sit here and tell me you want $1 million in business loan, but you're only making 10 grand a month. This is not consistent. Okay, so talk to me about your strategy, how you go about making sure that you have an alignment between your business funding and your business performance. Think about your ability to repay. Can your business repay the loan amounts? If you're asking for net 30 or net 45, would you be able to pay the amount due within 45 days? Okay, it's not about dreaming. It's not about having some kind of imaginary plan. No, you want to set up a detailed, concrete plan today, and you want to find ways to reach your goals as stated in the plan. Think about business performance. Think about your cash flows, your cash flow statements, your cash flows from operating activities, from investing activities, from financing activities. Do they support such credit? What about your balance sheet, your assets, your company's liabilities, your company's net worth? Is it in line with the credit that you are seeking? Think about your income statements, also called the statement of profit and loss, or statement of income, or income statements. Yeah. So you really need to think about those things. And it's not just something you can do in one day. It takes time. It takes several sessions of brainstorming with your team, or with yourself, if you will, to find out. You need to set up your borrowing process so that you have controls in place to boost sales. Okay, because boosting sales will help you get the liquidity you need. And liquidity tactics are important to implement because the more money your business generates, the more money you can borrow, which is really weird as a concept, but that's what it is. The more money you make, the more money you can borrow. Even this is kind of funny because people who don't make much money, those are the ones who need money, who needs to borrow. But with banking, it doesn't work that way. So you need to make more money to access more money. All right, folks. So this is it for today's conversation. I will share with you the top 10 hacks you need to know today that you can implement if we're talking about business credit for a business, new business, and you want to get a large loan amount and a low APR. This is important. You want to start with your current institution. You want to obtain your EIN and get legit. Understand lender conditions. Have a multi-trade line strategy. Write the business plan. You want to check your business credit score. You want to check your personal credit score. You want to collateralize loans whenever possible. Be proactive with Dun & Bradstreet reporting and be realistic and reasonable. Thank you so much, folks, for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.